Hey there, to reflect on the internet paradigm, I'm going to deliver a quick exposition about fan art. The legacy media paradigm saw the migration of the mass audiences to the worship of centralized one-to-many messages via broadcast communication. Users could only be passive consumers of finished products, news, films, music, radio, printed material, all assembled by professionals as gatekeepers serving the broadcast logic. We are experiencing another revolution. The emergent media paradigm ushered in the convergence of mass audiences within digitally networked platforms carrying the tools of production and distribution. Users utilize Web 2.0 as a decentralized system to become increasingly networked, more collaborative within the logic of a many-to-many system, and unconstrained by legacy messages of communication. This affords users the ability to connect, share, find, and participate in communities while also becoming active producers of content. Importantly, each participant's contribution is limited to their abilities and cognitive surplus, their free time and skills. The amateur with specific and limited skills finds no filter for participation here. The distribution of production among users with slack engagement, fluid movement of users through roles, and cognitive surplus in a networked group can be called a collective intelligence. These hives are capable of drafting many eyeballs and brains to overcoming challenges that are communally pleasing or engender a certain civic duty. Most importantly, collective intelligences easily circumvent the logic of the legacy media paradigm. The perception of events in broadcast media is constrained by carefully constructed framing. Producers in the internet paradigm are rapidly able to find and absorb the greater context of the event and potentially adapt a very different set of narratives. Storytelling as a communal activity looks very different in the emergent media paradigm. Untamable curiosity combined with cognitive surplus, the tools, and the deep desire to participate motivates the former audience to create, share, and remix communally, drawing inspiration from coexisting trademark narratives and each other. This brings me to fan art. I follow social media accounts of both legacy producers and networked producers and realized almost accidentally that I am a part of this community. Fan art prompts for creators have been trending. They are an event shared by members which call for conversation around prospective subjects and themes for new artworks, fan fictions, or design briefs. This isn't an abstract or general concept. Fan art is constantly being iterated with new themes and matching hashtags to track contributions, with accounts dedicated to aggregating and curating the genre, bringing it to the masses as a second wave creative movement, responding to the impetus of media from legacy and emergent channels. A recent popular prompt has been the sixfanarts movement. Creators will start in isolation or post a poll asking their audience which characters they might fan art. Making art from the leaping point of an established narrative isn't new by any means, but there are a lot of eyeballs on it thanks to the rise of the amateur as producer in our distributed media paradigm, perhaps also because we all have a lot of free time. We observe in movements like this, a niche category itself, the mobilization of skills and social support to encourage and celebrate engagement around making the leap, as Clay Shirky puts it, from doing nothing to doing something. Collective intelligence like this actively finds and provides reference material for remix. In doing so, the community as a whole strategize and take actions to liberate characters and storylines from monologic frames of production and distribution, moving them into the open and democratized dialogic system. Here, there are no longer closed products of consumption, but conversations created for communal pleasure. Participants circumvent legacy media gatekeepers and controlled messages by combining what is known about original characters, stories, and artifacts with new settings, actions, quests, relationships, companion sidekicks, and narrative framing, among a few characteristics that would never have been imagined or realized without the presence of an active remix and modding culture. Before your eyes, I have been developing my contribution to fan art of a character called Lord Shax from Bungie's Destiny franchise. He is usually a hard-edged, gruff yet passionate and boisterous warlord who commentates, spruces, and announces PvP playlist action. My version shows Shaxx in a more relaxed domestic setting with his hypothetically mischievous and adorable cat Jeremy. Participants as producers work in small-scale distributed fashion with each other, source materials, and related works of further remove, memes are a good example, to expand, comment upon, and create new canon. We share, consume, and adapt existing stories with a free-flowing and ever-changing richness that embodies customization for the masses, by the masses. The result is an alternate collection of information through which the controlled message of the legacy paradigm narrative can be understood. Far removed, as it were, from the logic of distributing a product for mass consumption. My remediation upon the internet paradigm is thus direct engagement with this sixfanarts meme. Yes, the art prompt is, like many contagious ideas, a meme. My theme will be to recontextualize characters in work-from-home, pajamas and slacks scenarios, to soften their often violently on-brand messages. My attempt will visualize these figments coexisting with all of us humans in isolation.